I'm Michelle Garrigan. I'm 58 years old, and this is my footballing journey. If anyone asked me to think about the first time I first played football, I can't remember, because when I was young and growing up, I was always playing football. I've got a younger brother, and we were made to play together. I had to sort of look after him in the school holidays, and so we played football in the backyard and we played in the street. But as he got older, he got better than me, and at that time, I wasn't allowed to play football. The FA had banned women from playing football, so I grew up at a time where there was no girls' football teams to play or to join, and I wasn't encouraged to play football. My parents, especially my mum, hated me playing football. She said it wasn't ladylike, and she always complained that I came home with dirty socks. Why can't you be like them Davis girls and keep your socks clean? She used to say to me. And listen, because they're boring, they just play with dolls, and I want to play football. So I played and probably till I was about 7 or 8. Never encouraged to play at school. Wasn't even allowed to play at school. The girls played in the bottom yard with the skipping ropes and the balls, and the boys played in the top yard playing football. And so that was it. From the age of 8, I wanted to play but wasn't allowed. And when I went to secondary school, there was no football there. The girls played hockey. That was the nearest thing you got to playing football. Positional wise, it was the same. I got to put a pair of football boots on and play outside and enjoy the game. And I thought that was it. I always wanted to play a full 11-a-side football, and it wasn't to be. Then when I was 21, I was living in Gloucester at that time, and saw an ad for ladies football team wanted. And my husband said, go along. He said, you enjoy a game, why don't you go, see how it goes? And I was so excited. I went along to this football training, and I thought, yeah, this is it. I'm going to play here. And I went to the first session, turned up for the second session, and the manager took me aside and he went, you just don't feature in my plans. He said, you might as well pack in. No point you come in. No point you wasting your money coming here every week. You don't feature at all. You're never going to get a game. But I wanted to play, so I thought, yeah, I'm going to carry on playing, because it was a little bit more than just playing football. For me, it was like, friendship as well. I got to meet lots of people. The team themselves were really nice. And I got on with all the women and the girls that I played with at that time and enjoyed that part. But I never did play in a football match, apart from one. And actually, twice. I almost played twice. I went to Bristol once. And this is when we had to shower around the back of some changing rooms with a hose pipe after a match. So imagine you coming off of, from the pitch all muddy, and there's a cold water pipe for you to wash yourself down with and get changed. You thought, you know what, it's not worth it. Just put your kit on and go home. And the second match that I went to play in was against Birmingham. So I travelled from Gloucester to Birmingham. And I can't remember what the score was. All I remember is that there was 5 minutes to go. And I still hadn't kicked a ball. I wasn't on the pitch. And one of our players went down, and I thought, this is it, this is my chance. But no, the manager ran on with the smelling salts to make sure that she got up and carried on and finished the game to the end. And I never kicked a ball. And I realised then that, yeah, I was wasting my time and I had to cut my losses, and I never went back. And then, probably when I was about 35, 36, a friend of mine at work, she'd been invited to go and play in a five-a-side football team up at the university pitches. And she said to me, I'm sure you used to play football, didn't you? Do you want to come along if they're short? So I said, yeah. So myself and Julia went along and we played, and I came home with a buzz. Wow, five-a-side football, this is it. And they were Sheffield Lord ladies, and they made myself and Julia feel so welcome. And for a few weeks, we were just like on a reserve list, until one week they said to us, oh, you can be part of our team now. You're not a reserve anymore. You're part of our 10-a-side. You can come along every single week. Well, we all went out for a drink to celebrate, and it was amazing, to think that it's not just football. But again, there was this thread of friendship that was there. And it was through that playing there at the university that I met Ruth. And we carried on playing by Ruth Johnson from Third, and we played five-a-side until the time came, and I can't remember why the team disbanded. I think it was a combination of things. I think the pitches closed for a while they did a bit of refurbishment. A few people left Sheffield, left the area, and we never really got back together with them. And a few years went by, and then I was walking down by the train station one day, and I heard this voice shout to me, and I turned around, and there was Ruth. Long time no see. So we had a bit of a catch up, and Ruth said to me, I'm working now at Third. I'm helping with these young girls to try and get girls that don't normally get into football, to try and get them to play. So on a Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, it's free. Do you want to come along? I said, yeah, go on then. I'll give it a whirl. So I turned up and yeah, we had a great time with these girls. The banter with them was fantastic. They were so keen, so enthusiastic, and, you know, the skill levels of some of them was amazing. And so through Ruth and through Third, I got back into playing five-a-side football again. I played for, I don't know how many years it was. And from that, we also, and Ruth, I remember, we played in a five-a-side competition up at Concourse Sports Centre. And one year we got a bronze medal. We were that good. I don't know how that happened. I think the following year we finished third as well. And then again, because some people left Sheffield for the jobs, we couldn't, you know, get a team of 5 together, so we stopped playing. But I continue going to Third on a Tuesday night to play football. And then through another contact, through Sarah and Corinne, they were going along to training at Unity, AFC Unity. And at that time, Unity were having a development team. And Sarah was helping to coach the development team along with Corinne. And they said, oh, you know, do you fancy playing 11-a-side football? And so at the grand age, or I think I was 53, I played my first ever competitive 11-a-side football, and it was fantastic. I thought, yeah, I might get 10 or 15 minutes here. I played a full 90. I couldn't believe it myself when I came off the pitch. I thought, my God, the legs are still going, and, you know, I can still run. And that was the start of something else. So I then joined AFC Unity. I went along and became part of their development side. After a year, the development side folded, and they were just having the one team going forward. And I remember saying to Sarah, shall we go along? Shall we give it a try, see how we get on? Because, you know, we're ladies of a certain age, the pair of us, and there was all these young dudes from about 19 onwards. And then there's myself, me, Sarah and Corinne, the old ones, thinking maybe we'll get a game. We went along to training, we went along to the trial, and the manager said, yeah, you're in. And we thought, yeah, might be about 10 minutes every other week. And the very first game of the season, myself and Sarah were in the starting 11. I remember we just stood there on the sideline, looked at each other, went, yeah, and had a big hug. We couldn't believe that we were still in this blooming, you know, first team, that we'd made it. And I'm still playing, well, I was still playing for Unity until the start of the pandemic. They decided not to go ahead in this year's season and take part in the league. So I joined another team because, you know, at the age of 58, I've not got time on my side to be playing many more seasons. And I think next season will be the last, because by the time the following season finishes, I'll be almost 60. And I think then it's time to hang the boots up. But only from 11-a-side, I'm going to continue going on to Third and playing on a Tuesday night. And now the next challenge is walking football.